baby. Oh my God. My God, my slider's not working. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And I'm Carlos.
And this is a show where we cover movies on the growing list of films that has people asking us a question. You haven't seen that? I apologize, man. I'm telling you, for if Rode podcast equipment or whatever is listening to us, can you fix the goddamn thing? My slider, it was like not reacting, so I apologize for my unprofessionalism at the start of this episode. If you have any comments to say about the show, you can do that on social media.
At YHST Pod.
Yeah, thank you very much on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. This is starting off great. And if you want to follow us and give us more money so we can buy better equipment, you can do that on Venmo.
At YHST Pod, make sure to include pod at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a funny story to that. So we were out on assignment to catch Wuthering Heights, future episode, mind you. I was adding a story that, okay, going to catch Wuthering Heights. Is this movie going to make me sweaty? So I was trying to tag the podcast, but unknowns to me, I just put YHST, which it turned out to be a random woman from the Philippines that I just tagged in. So I was like, shit, I forgot to put pod at the end. So please make sure you include pod in the tags.
She's like, what is this video about Wuthering Heights?
What is Wuthering Heights?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I totally messed up my mojo at the beginning. Thank you everybody for listening. Welcome to the show. We have two movies for you today. We have Dracula,
Love Story,
directed by
Luc Besson.
And good luck, have fun, don't die, or as I call it, GLHFDD. Rolls off the tongue, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, definitely one of these movies I like better than the other. But before we get into all of that, we inform you about things going on in Hollywood, movies, and entertainment with a fucking jam-packed segment that we call YHST News.
Jam-packed.
And to kick things off, Evil Dead Burn will be released on July 24, 2026.
Burn. Jason Statham will play himself in a new action film, Jason Statham Stole My Bike.
Ugh.
The film will begin development by the guy who gave us The Fall Guy and Bullet Train.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street is getting a reboot again in 2027. Just take care of it.
The Cloverfield universe is coming back to theaters. J.J. Abrams and Paramount Pictures are developing a prequel to the original film, which is currently titled The Cloverfield Experiment.
I'm Jason Statham, and I'm also excited about that movie.
Spider-Gwen movie is in the works at Sony, as well as Spider-Punk movie that is still actively in development. How many more years for us to get these movies? Sony, I'm looking at you.
Will they do better?
Speaking of better, John Bernthal's Disney Plus Punisher special will be titled Punisher One Shot Special. It's reportedly set to be released before Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out.
After 20 years of the first remake of The Hills Have Eyes, 20th Century Studios is developing a new remake of the film based on the original directed by Wes Craven in 1977. The Hills Have Eyes again.
Maika Monroe teases about an It Follows sequel. They Follow.
Yeah, they teased that for a long time, but finally it's happening. Alien Earth, the series of Alien. I actually really love the first season and so happy that they're officially renewing it for a second season. If you haven't done it, it's on FX. Go watch the first season.
Isabel Merced will star in Paul W.S. Anderson's new video game adaptation of The House of the Dead, which the bar is currently set low because of that Uwe Boll movie, so it can't get any worse.
Well,
I hope.
Well,
okay. For all you F1 fans, I'm pretty sure there's only one person in here that's a... Hi, Chris. We're getting another movie. F1, the sequel. We don't know how it'll be.
Okay.
That's
Hot take. We don't know how it will be. Let me try that. Stranger Things, The First Shadow is coming to Netflix. The prequel tells the origin of Henry Creel before he becomes Vecna. Well, I don't know how it'll be. We'll see.
Jason Momoa. We're starting off so unhinged, guys.
Jason Mamos.
Thank you for that, Elva, by the way. But Jason Momoa has been cast in the live-action Helldivers movie set for November 2027 release date. Hey, that's also around the time of my birthday, so future episode planned.
There you go.
Hey.
We'll see how it'll be. Go.
I'm broken.
Go, damn it. Go.
Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi are teaming up with
Keeping it in.
All right. Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi are teaming up with Universal Pictures as producers of Portrait of God, a new film based on a terrifying short from a promising young director, Dylan Clark.
We'll see how that'll be. If you love playing Hungry Hippos as a kid, you'll get a kick out of a Hungry Hippo. God damn it, Elva. We'll see how this will be. Hungry Hippo thriller starring Madison Davenport. Why didn't I spell check this thing?
And to finish things off,
Please
on this
put me out of my misery.
On this unhinged edition of news,
Valentine's Day of all days.
Mike Flanagan is writing and directing a new movie adaptation of Stephen King's The Mist. We'll see how that'll go. Will it punch us in the crotch like the original did? I guess we'll find out.
Isaac has not seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that.
I'm allergic to new movies. Okay, and of course we have we're continuing our segment called Either Or, brought to you by Carlos.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, for this edition of Either Or versus. First time bringing that question up, so I am not wording this right. I am not ready. My goodness.
We will see how that will be.
Every week we're like, we're going to be prepared, and collectively we never are, which is fine because we can't really get mad at any individual one of us. But if you're listening for this kind of stuff, why? But also, thank you very much.
Okay, take two. Versus edition of Either Or. When it comes to James Gunn, which would you say is his better works at Marvel or DC?
DC, because I don't like Marvel.
Yeah.
You really have it out for
Yeah,
them,
complete
Alva.
biased. And in previous episodes, I've sort of said my apprehensions about Marvel. I don't completely hate it like Elva does, but I have more specific and well thought out and articulated reasons. That being said, I think that Gunn's DC is vastly better than his Marvel stuff. Even though I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, I love that he had the ability to present a story where people aren't familiar with. It's not exactly popular, but writing it and directing it in such a way that it's now like one of the top favorite movies. Granted, he sort of fell off with like Guardians 2, where everybody had a joke. Every character, it was way too heavy on the comedy. This is where my co-host on the other show I do would be like, nipples. Remember?
Yeah.
It's fucking nipples. And he's even said in interviews where there's a lot of like creative differences, he needs to weave in this bigger universe thing. And so him taking control over DC and doing his thing and the passion and fervor in which he talks about all of the up and coming things and especially kind of, putting people at ease with not all of these things have to be connected. Some things are just going to be standalone. So just kind of getting everybody ready for that and really trying to work it out. Not only that, but he has said on multiple occasions, script comes first, which seems like a surprising thing to most people. But, other studios might go, well, we have ownership of this property. We're going to do that first. And then we'll figure out the script later, which is terrible because then they scramble and it's all screwed up. But he's like, nope. He's had Matt Reeves rewrite the Batman 2 a couple of times now, much to people's chagrin. But I mean, if we have to wait a little longer, perfectly fine if that means that we're going to get a greater product. So I think that with currently Gunn's DC stuff, we've gotten amazing things like Creature Commando, which is so fun.
Yeah.
It's so Gunn. I think Superman was fantastic. I can't wait for Supergirl. So just all these things, this lineup of things are already exciting. And just how his brain is working, having learned from what he did with the Marvel stuff, which isn't completely terrible. Not like he did a lot of things, but enough where he got to play around in that major studio world and then be the leader of one. Easily, it's going to be his DC stuff over Marvel stuff.
I think the one thing that...
You had your time.
Shut up. The one thing that won me over to DC for James Gunn was Peacemaker. He can
right.
use a little bit more of the unhinged that he couldn't use in Marvel because Disney would control that. And I think especially with Disney being like a big company, you can get away with certain things, but that the mouse controls everything.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, I totally forgot about Peacemaker. Like, I love that Gunn has, Superman to sort of, color within the lines, and then there's Peacemaker, just that vehicle for him to go off the wall. I mean, if you guys have not seen Peacemaker, just within like the first episode of maybe like the recent season, you're like, there's drugs, there's drinking, there's nudity, there's just absolute craziness going on.
Just with the opening scene, like the opening with
the
a
dance
theme
sequence?
song. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm sold. Guardians doesn't have shit on this.
No, but also Guardian still has a little bit of that unhingedness, but of course, you're not going to go. It's it's supposed to be kind of G for everybody, and you can't go. You're not going to have Chris Pratt going full frontal or anything like that. There's just no need for it.
Yeah, he at least let him get away with saying the F word one time.
I mean, he's too Christian for that. Look who he married.
Wow. Okay, moving on.
True.
Yeah. So, button. Thank you for presenting the either or.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Now, before we get into this movie, let's give our bite-sized snack form, spoiler-free reviews of these two movies, Dracula and Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Carlos, we'll start off with you with Dracula.
Pretty much, I enjoyed it overall. I was not expecting it to go into heavy romance, but I was okay with it, because we've already had enough horror for Dracula, after watching Nosferatu.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I liked it very much. The film looked pretty beautiful, like a lot of colors. I thought I was almost expecting like desaturated, like muted colors, but overall solid performances. Christoph Waltz, can't go wrong. I mean, he's Van Helsing, but he's the priest. Caleb Landry Jones, I think did for the most part, good job having a younger actor, sort of. I don't know how old he was compared to Gary Oldman when he did his Dracula movie. Oh, and the score is pretty good by Danny Elfman. I almost felt like, is this like a Tim Burton movie? But no, it's a Luc Besson movie. But yeah, overall, enjoyed it.
Elva?
All I gotta say is yearning, a lot of it. Like Carlos said, it is more based on less horror, more romance, and I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. Actually, I think I was the one that wanted to see this one.
Thank you for telling the truth. Thank you for not lying.
Isaac?
Intense stare.
Your thought?
I'm going to be the odd man out on this. There are a lot of things that I liked about this movie, and there are a lot of things that I absolutely didn't like about it that threw me off, that didn't work for the film whatsoever. And it's, sort of spoiler alert. I'm going to give it a lower rating later on when we go through to our YHST Fresh. It's not a terrible movie, but I think that you'll still have fun watching it if you do go out and watch it. But there's going to be some hangups that you might need to expect when watching it. Something just sort of out of the blue, like Carlos had said, this is leaning way more heavily on the romance. Even though this is supposed to be its own take on the Bram Stoker Dracula, it does feel like a knockoff of the Coppola Bram Stoker Dracula. And I think it hurts it in that regard. But I can't outright say it's bad. It's just there's tonal inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Landry Jones is great. I don't want this is not a non-spoiler section, so I think he's good. I don't think he was the right guy for it, but we'll get into that later. That's my bite-sized review. Carlos, tell us about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
A very wild, adventurous movie, high energy. Sam Rockwell continues to prove that he really could lead a film with like very zany characters going off the rails. I did not expect this movie to take certain turns, but it definitely has a lot of heavy commentary in our society today when it comes to technology, AI, and us being desensitized to real world violence. And we're just trying to mute ourselves to that. It definitely has like a lot of dark, humorous moments, but there were some of those moments did hit me hard. I'm like, that is so fucking true. Like with what's happening in this world, crazy world of ours. Great performances from the supporting cast. Didn't realize this was directed by Gore Verbinski, who did the Pirates movies, The Ring, the American remake, and I know he did something else too. I think he did Rango, that animated movie.
Yeah, I like that.
If I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, great high energy time traveling movie.
It made me want to go to Norm's. But also, I don't know. I think Carlos said it all. It was a fun movie. Stuff with what's going on now, dark humor. I kind of wish I would have seen him dancing a little bit, you know, because he's known for his dancing.
Yeah. Have you seen him on talk shows?
No.
He gets down.
Yeah, he gets down. I would have liked to see some moves, but other than that, I dig it.
Yeah, I'm going to relinquish my time, my bite-sized review, because Carlos said everything that I wanted to say, but just better. I can't recommend this movie more. If there's a movie to see this weekend, it's this one.
It's a fun movie.
It's a really fun movie. Yeah, kind of like a very fun, surreal episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I could see this being a Black Mirror episode, like a special.
All right, so there's your pause point. Go see those movies, or in my opinion, just the one movie, and come back, let us know what you thought about it, and join in the conversation. Okay, now prepare yourself for spoilers. So as it is Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and you'll hear us say that again for the next episode of Wuthering Heights. Romance is in the air, and so we're starting off with Dracula. And the reason why I say that is this rendition of Dracula is leaning more on the romance of it. Whether for the better or for the worse. I'm actually going to stand back a little bit and let Alva and Carlos sort of take the reins more on this movie. But let me get it started off. Now, this is directed by Luc Besson. Yes, that Luc Besson. Starring Caleb Landry Jones as Dracula, Zoe Blue as Elizabetha, and Christoph Waltz as credited as the priest, but he's sort of Van Helsing, and then Matilda de Angelis, who's I forget the character name, but I think she is my favorite character in this thing because of the level of unhinged sexiness that she is. I have a type. So you guys go ahead and take a hold of this.
Oh, me first. All right, cool. Well, Dracula, its original title was supposed to be Dracula: A Love Tale.
Oh,
I think in Europe, because this one was a weird release. It did release in Europe first, and then it came here as its last stop for it, which I feel like there
was a lot of hype for it. That's why I was like, oh, I'm really excited to see this movie.
Yeah, the hype that I saw was mostly with women wanting to see this movie, and I'm just like, hey, I'm there. I'm all for a love story. I'm all for this lovey-dovey. Let me see a different type. I'm like, Dracula, got it. Yeah, I will say there was a different take. I did like it. Like Isaac.
I'm not hating on it. I just have stronger things to say about it. Even after, kind of, again, spoiler alert, looking into the RT score, what the critic and what the audience felt about it is how we're sort of feeling about it. Like, you guys feel like more on the audience side, and I feel like I'm leaning more on the critic side for all of those, I guess you can call them technical reasons.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and just say my thing. It's mostly a movie for girls, for the girly pops out there that want more romance that's less, I don't know, modern day.
I don't know about going so far as saying that, but suffice to say, and you'll kind of hear about it more when we talk about Wuthering Heights in the next episode, but Wuthering Heights is what Dracula needed to be, as far as loving somebody so much they're going to relinquish your soul, as opposed to your girl just bangs well. And it's what the hell is that movie with Mickey Rourke where they're having sex a lot and eating food? But it was they lusted for each other, but it didn't land it with me with the love.
Huh. Okay.
Well,
at all. Did we watch the same movie?
We sat next to each other.
Yeah.
So
same row, I guess.
I like what Elle was saying, yearning. This definitely was more yearning, where he just wanted to reunite with his love. So, Dracula movies are a dime a dozen. Who hasn't seen a Dracula movie?
Yeah.
There's not it doesn't really alternate a lot from the main story points. They do a few changes here and there, with him having his little minions, so to speak, which we'll get to in a bit. This definitely had reminded me a lot of Francis Ford Coppola's 1990s Dracula movie, but I think it's less horror elements. Again, this is firstly a romance movie. It definitely, for me, there were times that almost kind of felt like a fairy tale at moments, but I think it was because of the score by Danny Elfman, which throughout the whole movie, I'm like, is this Danny Elfman that I'm hearing? Because it has his signature music notes.
Same, yeah.
And then at the end with the credits rolling, I'm like, it is Danny Elfman. So that's why there were times where I almost felt like also Tim Burton almost could have made this movie.
Without Tim Burton.
Without Tim Burton isms. Like for me, it had some charming moments. Like I did like the chemistry scenes where Dracula reunites with his reincarnated love interest. I thought he looked pretty good for the most part in the makeup. I also got to say, like, I felt really bad, as always, for Jonathan Harker, who gets stuck with sloppy seconds pretty much.
In the Coppola version, that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. But
with a terrible English accent.
Hey, at least he tried. It's Keanu Reeves.
Also, the movie I was thinking of with Mickey Rourke, 9.5 weeks. Also, like they did that in the first 10 minutes of this movie. They're banging.
Yeah, so this, like, when we were introduced to our starring couple, you could say, I'll admit it did have some cheesy moments, like with the food, the banging, the pillow fight, which honestly reminded me of The Room. Like the first sex scene where they're just having like that weird, awkward pillow fight. It's supposed to be sweet. I'll admit that I was like, it's a little cringy, but okay, we get it. These two are madly in love with each other and he would do anything for her.
Yeah, and to the point where there was a part in the beginning where they were going to take him away to battle. And then he's like, no, but I don't want to leave.
It was fucking cringe is what it was. And like, he's yearning after this chick. And again, it feels more lustful than actually love. And so they convey the wrong message, in my opinion. But like, his hair's all in his face, and the guy is a very, very wet mouth, by the way, throughout the whole movie. Yeah, he's either drooling or something. And they're like strapping the armor onto him, and he's still like eyeballing her. It didn't work for me at all. Yeah, it was like heavy cringe. I'm like, bro, you still got to go to war. I get you're into this chick. You had a good lay, but you had a good pillow fight, and you had some food fights. You can go to war.
Badass armor, by the way.
That was great badass armor. I'm not gonna lie. That helmet. Oh, yeah. I want that helmet.
But going back on, you said, him and the makeup. The makeup looked really good. My only problem was when he, in those moments, is I feel like they needed to convey him to be like more of an evil person. Like, sure, this isn't a horror film, but also Dracula is this threat. And they hinted at it here and there. So it's not like they set him up to be this like, nice guy. He just happens to be older now, but he's still, sort of a minion of Satan. I think even if the rest of the movie wasn't going to be like a horror film, the way the Coppola version was, I do feel in those moments when he's the old man Dracula that he needed to be, I don't know, more like looming and more evil and powerful in that regard. I don't know. I think I had said it earlier. Caleb Landry Jones did really good for what was given to him, but like overall, I still can't see him like as Dracula even in human form. I think there's like a million other actors out there that are as good and could have been a really good younger Dracula with that charm and sort of power. I don't feel that level of power with his performance. Again, I'm the odd man out. You guys are looking at me odd.
I feel like this one was more of having like an ordinary looking person instead of like a hunk. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go see Henry Cavill as Dracula. Yeah, that's all great and fun and stuff. But real life, like, where do we see that? Like a hot person with a hot person.
Hold on. In real life, when we're talking about a vampire and a man in real life, that's my whole point is if Henry Cavill was cast as this, we would be like, holy shit, what a great fucking cast. We're going to talk about Wuthering Heights in the next episode. Jacob Elordi got all of our pants wet because he's just this amazingly good looking, charismatic guy that you're like, yeah, of course, it's totally believable. I didn't get that from Caleb Landry Jones. I get that that's a take of like, oh, he's an ordinary guy. This movie didn't need to try to pull that. In fact, there's other things that this movie tried to do with like, I love seeing kind of like a superhero origin story with like powers and stuff. And you got a little bit of that, but where it tried to give you some things, it then got lazy and then didn't give you other things. Wait, you're explaining some of these things over here. I do want some of these other things explained because it is fascinating and you made me now interested in it. And then where they also did other things like, and I sort of referenced like Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man with this. There are some things that, because he is this sort of supernatural being, right? Telekinesis, he can't age, he can't die, he drinks blood, Dracula. And the thing that they made not organic, as far as like this isn't of his supernatural abilities, is his hypnotic abilities. Instead of him just having the ability to hypnotize somebody, he then designs a perfume. Like it was a weird road to then make non-organic. So I referenced Sam Raimi's Spider-Man because, they sort of did the flip of that where it's like, organic web shooters or whatever. It's a weird thing my brain went to, but that's what I'm trying to say is there were so many things that worked in this film. I loved the certain design of like the castle was amazing. The music was awesome. Christoph Waltz is Christoph Waltz. I mean, I never going to say
You can never go wrong.
Never wrong with
Christoph
that.
Waltz.
But it's just these little things here and there, really obvious blue screen moments. At first, I thought this was like a really low budget movie directed by someone smaller or whatever that they happened to get Christoph Waltz. But then you're like, Luc Besson. I'm like, of the Fifth Element, Luc Besson?
Fifth Element, Leon the Professional.
Marrying children, having kids.
That too.
Yeah. It came off as an amateur doing a high budget studio movie. Just because of all of these things that were just so weird. Speaking of Coppola, by the way, like, did you ever watch
Megalopolis?
Megalopolis, right?
No, I never saw it.
Now, this movie Dracula didn't go to that level of like, Coppola, Megalopolis taking these weird choices and whatever, but it had a little hint of that, of like, why do that? Why have the gargoyles be his like sort of minions, these like CG things that apparently knew like Krav Maga and knew like current modern day, martial arts and shit like that. And that gargoyle totally studied Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which totally like took me out of some of those moments because it was funny. And I don't think those moments were meant to be funny. So I felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be tonally. Some moments were intense and serious, and other moments were kind of cringe and cheesy. Like the one thing me and Alva don't agree on was there is a sort of to depict his searching for his loved one over time was that montage. She loved it. I hated it. I hated that montage. It took me out of the whole thing completely. It's like a fucking Pretty Woman, getting dress montage.
No, like I agree with Elva. I didn't like. I like the montage, just kind of seeing him going to other countries, doing the same thing, just kind of him controlling the masses with, like who like is his loved one somewhere here. I'll admit, sure, like he does have his other abilities like telekinesis and all that, but he needed like perfume. But I don't know. I guess I didn't mind that they changed a few things where it's explained the way that, oh no, it's fragrance that like he lures people in, because he still kind of has to, I guess, in a way, charm people.
Yeah.
And then I guess talking of supporting cast, like how you said, like you really like the character of Maria, very eccentric, very energetic, and like kind of unhinged. As like she's a disciple of Dracula, one of his disciples, and. Yeah, I don't think I could be around a person like that in real life. I'm like, okay, like you need to dial it down.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. In that scene where she's introduced is where we also are introduced to Christoph Waltz's priest. I'm just going to call him Van Helsing, yeah? Good, agreed, good. Both of their energy works super well. Because she's eccentric, and as is Waltz, he's eccentric. And so they have this sort of back and forth banter. It works so well, and I loved her performance going from like kind of being zany and crazy, and then in the middle of a smile, squeezing out some tears, and then being sad. So it was very bipolar and very mixed, and it was fantastic. But then that same energy didn't need to be there for later on in the film when certain people are reunited, and she's just like really obnoxious third wheel, and then like Dracula's not saying anything, and I'm like, bro, control your fucking minion, man. Reel her the fuck back in. This is hard to watch.
He's waiting for to use the remainder of his fragrance. It's running out.
Any other version of Dracula would have been like, you don't talk no more, and then would slit her throat or something like that.
Yeah, but you also had to see that, was it Mina at this point, right?
Yeah, Mina.
The only person she knew was Maria. So if she were to go, especially at that time, you can't just go with a strange man. That's odd. So she had to be that same self that she is, that she met the first time. So I feel like it would be wrong if she met her as a very high energy eccentric personality to then go to calm and like everything else to be like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Do we need to take you back to the thing?
I think you're giving this movie too much credit on being like so intelligent that they're going to be like, oh, the characters might think it's weird. I don't think they set it up in any regards to like, oh, I'm suspecting something off about this moment. Because we've seen other movies where, they have to write it in where a character just doesn't happen to see some of those things.
Okay, well, to each their own. Next movie.
No, not yet. Like as far as Maria's energy, it didn't need to be like that heightened in all of those moments. It just needed to be calmed down a little bit. In which she had some of those moments. She has scenes where she was, calmer. But like I think like Carla said, like I couldn't be around somebody who was just on all the time.
Yeah.
Like my point being is like in her first scene, they had established that she is all of these emotions, crazy and then sad. There's something sad about her. You can then sort of levy that into her having more somber moments or calmer moments, not always being on. This movie has some problems with writing and not necessarily pacing, but like momentum with some of those things, some inconsistencies with when it came to the writing of that. It's still a fun movie. There are enough fun things that I'm just... It's stuck in my craw about these things that stood out as bad,
Yeah. Overall, like I said in my little mini bite-sized review, I enjoyed the scenes between Dracula and Mina, like when they meet for the first time in present day, in terms of the context of the story. That's where I kind of felt like it had its charming moments.
Totally, yeah.
Like he's not being overly. What's the right word to say?
Handsy?
Not
touchy?
Handsy.
Drooly?
Like he's not like
thirsty?
He's not overdoing it, like how much like he loves her. Like he's not trying to scare her away. Like he's just like calmly kind of making his way through to kind of like lower her guard and make her realize like, no, like we're destined to be with each other.
He's trying to create a sense of safety.
Yeah, like that. So
fun fact, Zoe Blue is she's an Arquette.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she's a daughter of not Patricia, Roseanne Arquette? What's the sister?
Rosanna.
Arquette. Yeah.
Awkward pause moment.
Also, Caleb Landry Jones was in the 3 billboards in Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fantastic
That's a good movie.
That's an amazing movie.
I've heard. I haven't seen that
one. Oh,
one.
my God.
With Sam Really?
Yeah.
Look, we can cover it.
Yeah.
With Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, I remember he was in that one, yeah.
And also, what's his name? Oh, my God.
Hints. Give me hints.
Starts with a W.
Patrick Warburton.
Last name H. Woody Harrelson.
You mean your doppelganger?
Yeah. So yeah, I think people are going to be torn right down the middle about this movie. Again, I can't say it any more times that I didn't hate it, but there's just a lot of things I liked and a lot of things I did.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I liked it. To each their own. Carlos.
Same here.
Yeah.
I think me and Elva are on the same level on this. So.
Okay, then we can then move on to our next movie. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, directed by Gore Verbinski, starring Sam Rockwell, Yazzie Beetz, Juno Temple, Michael Pena. I think there's a couple other people I'm missing.
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz.
What? Oh, I put Yazzie. It autocorrected to Yazzie.
I'm like,
that doesn't sound
Yazzie?
right. God damn it. It's led by Sam Rockwell, and I love him in any kind of leading role, and especially in a movie like this that he gets to be completely kooky. The world that they build in this movie, I thought at first was going to be what we're living in today, but it is a sort of cartoony version, but it is still on the nose of what we're dealing with today, and the things that we're dealing with that they cover in this dark comedy of a movie surprised the shit out of me, especially how they delivered it and how they dealt with it. 1, school shootings. 2, technology, obviously AI. They could really hit us over the head with that one, but there's really no other way to go about it. And
3, clones.
Clones is 1, although we're not really dealing with a lot of clones, but
that we know of.
Are you a clone? But just the involvement of technology and how it's sort of pacified a lot of society, and how we're blind to everything, and how we're numb and dulled to everything. But the characters that are in this film, they show us there's still some hope in humanity and the struggles that we go through. But it's still fun. It is still fun. I'm just so surprised that they went there. Like, there's the scene when 2 of the characters are teachers, and the alarm goes off and they have to go into a safe room, and the other teacher goes, they panic and go, what's happening? The other one goes, yeah, just another school shooting.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Like, really?
There's another one. I mean,
Which it's almost like become a joke. Well, in terms like in the context of the story, it's almost like it's just like a minor inconvenience,
right?
You know.
To be honest, I feel like there are multiple. If you don't like see it on social media or whatever, if like the news isn't reporting it, you know something's happening, but like it's covered up.
Not even and not even that. The things that actually are reported, there are a lot of them. So when people reference, and I don't know if we're gonna get flagged for saying this so many times, but you know, the shootings, now we go, which one? You know, so that is sort of the joke. Joke's not the right word, but that's sort of the commentary. Is there are so many of them, it's now become like an everyday thing. For fuck's sake, at the time of the recording, I think that weekend, another one happened.
In Canada, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that just, that is the case in point.
Yeah, and then like how I also mentioned that, like, yeah, technology is just kind of making us so desensitized to violence where it's just been accepted as an everyday normal thing. So one of the supporting characters who, when we see her flash, like her backstory of how she ended up with this ragtag group of people out to save the future. You know, she loses her son in a shooting. Of course, she's reacting as we'd expect her to, devastated, heartbroken, you know, being human. And then she meets these other moms who are like, oh, it's your first one, right?
That once that scene happened, which that scene couldn't have come sooner because it let you know, oh, this world doesn't care about these things, but they still acknowledge them, which let the audience kind of, you know, sort of sit with it more comfortably.
Which in a way was like, is she gonna get a punch card now? Like,
yeah,
because as like it progressed,
I loved it, though.
And even the support group or whatnot, I'm like, is this where she gets her punch card for going to this thing?
Yeah, and yeah, when the moms were like, oh, it's your first one, I'm like, okay, how many kids did you lose to a shooting? And then when we find out that there's this company that acts like Apple pretty much, where, oh yeah, we'll bring back your loved ones. And when they do like this crazy personality kind of pick and choose, like how you want your kid to be brought.
But the guy helping them out, it doesn't give a shit.
No.
Not even attempting. Not even attempting to have some sort of human moment.
No empathy.
And he's like just so inconvenienced. He's like, oh, this fucking, she doesn't know about this thing. Ugh, okay.
But the one thing that stuck out is that moment where it's like he's going through the different various like personalities and traits and stuff like that. And then he goes, do you want him to be like a school shooter? Because the government covers that. And I'm just like, excuse me? There's like that, what he like, it was like snuck in there.
Unhinged,
unhinged, like school shooters.
70% of them are school shooters.
Yeah, because the government covers it. And I'm just like, is this like them testing or something?
The Dark Mirror episode that they have with this is, and this is literally an episode of not Dark Mirror, Black Mirror, excuse me.
Dark Mirror
is having a clone, and then if you don't opt for the higher tiers, then you're gonna get ads.
Oh my god, we lost it when it's like, oh, it comes with ads. I was like,
oh yeah, what was it, Black Mirror, where it was the wife was sick or something?
Yeah, she had a brain problem,
and then they're like, here, and then like he was basically going broke, right?
So unnerving.
To like. She's ads.
They kept creating like more and more tiers.
Yeah.
Oh, you only have the diamond. You don't actually have the platinum. You don't have the diamond platinum one.
You need the diamond plus for that one.
And the lack of humanity. That's like, but you're dealing with me, my life.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, that is just terrifying. And then like how again when it comes to like the personality choosing, she's like, oh, well, I don't think it's that, because I'm like, well, there's probably other choices that you can't pick from there.
Yeah.
Again, that's like what makes you human. It's like, oh, you know, we'll just pick this one.
Yeah.
You know?
But you can only pick one.
Yeah. And I'm like, just one, you know? Like,
not even like three? What are the three?
I did like, so as far as it being technically a time travel movie, it feels like a combination of Groundhog's Day and Terminator. The tricky part with time travel movies is you have to decide as a writer what type of time travel you're going to do. Is it a looper? Is it a looping one? Is it a branch timeline thing? Is it like the first Back to the Future where it's a singular timeline? If you mess anything up, you get the whole butterfly effect. And I think they sort of established quickly, because I mean, I give so much credit to the writers of this thing that, you know, one, they they even acknowledged in the movie Groundhog's Day. The one guy Sam Rockwell tells one guy, he goes, Jeff, Groundhog's Day, that's your favorite movie. So they acknowledge this is that thing, but like you're on the last day of Groundhog's Day. But this one, they sort of established that they did the branched timeline thing, which then makes me think in the movie, that fucking sucks for everyone else who just has to live with like, a sort of Skynet ruled AI controlled apocalyptic world.
Oh, yeah.
And so I appreciated this movie for kicking it off with such high energy out the gate and having those sort of flashback moments that did remind me of the show Lost, if you've ever seen it.
No.
You're following your, quote unquote current timeline, and then you learn about someone by each episode sort of focusing around a character, and then they go back and flashback, and you learn more about them and more of their motivations, who they are, who they aren't, that kind of thing. And so you learn more about this sort of ragtag team that Sam Rockwell's character sort of collects, and it worked for the most part. But because the energy was so different from flashbacks and the current timeline, there was some of those moments that I didn't feel like handled correctly. That's my only critique of the movie, where I didn't feel handled correctly, and it felt disruptive. Where kind of slowed it down, kind of towards the middle. But I still think it was fun to explore more of this world, for them to world build, as far as like the AI technology, the sort of hyper Oculus thing that they have, that controls you. And again, Black Mirror stuff, where they're able to sort of plug into the quote unquote matrix and just live blissfully. That's what it was. There was a show with Robbie Amell called, I think, Upgrade or something like that, where in this near future, if you can upload your consciousness to a cloud, then that's where they play with a lot of that concept of like ads and shit like that.
Also, with this one, I didn't know what I was walking into.
Neither did I, for the most part.
I thought maybe he was like gonna play an unhinged, like like they're experimenting on him, because you see the poster and some wires and stuff, and then you do see like the little trailer. He has like wires on him.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like maybe like they're experimenting, or maybe he's like a conspiracy theorist kind of thing, and he's a character and revolving around him. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I thought this would be like, what's that movie with Brad Pitt where he's from the future?
Something
13 Monkeys.
13, yeah, I forgot the number.
Yeah, where he's just trying to warn everyone. I thought it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
But again, I went in trying not know as much, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Not only that, but I love that they referenced, maybe not directly at times, but where and they were inspired by so many of things that we know and love, and put it together in something that did feel like its own original thing that had so much personality to it. Like I wouldn't mind rewatching this movie, whether it was like side characters or any kind of other smaller characters. But what I wanted to say earlier was I do give credit to how this movie introduced certain information. Like it starts off with just this crazy moment in the diner, and are we living in today's world? And then you slowly learn, no, we're living a sort of surreal world, but kind of fashion off of our stuff. And then it just at a certain point goes absolutely like batshit, having nonsensical, absurd moments that I loved. That's not a bad critique. It worked for the movie, just to show you how fucking nutty this is. But there are some scenes later on where the cat, the giant cat centaur thing.
We won't go into detail about this cat, but it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to question it.
No, I don't.
Let's roll with this.
Which, speaking of which, so that sort of like it sort of prepped me to not question too much into where the story or where it ends up going towards the end, and that sort of final or ending, or rather I call it a pre-ending, because the final ending is like, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But this pre-ending, I was trying to follow some of the rules, and then they kind of took a hard left turn, and I go, but all right, they had a giant centaur cat. Let me just not overthink it.
I don't know. I can't say more without spoiling things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm just
There's just some.
Well, this is the conversation bit. And like, if you feel you want to talk about it, talk about it.
The confetti coming out of the cat.
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler.
It's just like a little thing for you.
Yeah, no. At first I was like, all right, cool. And then at the end, where the confetti came from, and I was like, excuse me, there too? And I'm like, all right, I guess.
It's definitely one of the more fun movies that we've seen lately. Like, just from start to finish. So fun. So much fun. Anything else you guys want to say about this before we give our scoring?
I'll try to be less on my phone now after watching this, after seeing how all these kids are zombies. It's zombies.
Oh my God. I do want to say this movie definitely validated my millennialisms. Like, one of the characters, one of the teachers gets bullied by one of the teens. And she's like, you're old. She's like, I'm only 35. I'm like, I'm 35.
I'm 35.
And I feel old when I'm talking to my nieces and nephews. And they're teens and shit like that. And they're, by the way, teens nowadays are fucking mean, dude.
They're brutal.
God, they're mean.
Not even teens, younger kids.
And I thought the bullies I dealt with in school were bad.
If you feel good about yourself right now, go hang out with a teen for a couple minutes. Not in a weird way.
Go hang out with like a preteen. They're like way more brutal than a teen. A teen's like, whatever, we have a phone now, we could whatever. A preteen is where they either have a phone or don't have a phone, and the ones that don't have phones are brutal.
You know what they don't have? A fucking filter. God.
They don't.
No. Bring back smackings. Anything else you want to say about this movie before we give our ratings?
No.
No.
All right. This button's not working.
Button's not working.
All right, now we move on to Why HST Gets Fresh. Every other episode, me, Alva, and Carlos alternate and going back and forth on guessing the Rotten Tomato critic and audience score, as well as giving our own personal rating on these movies, the aforementioned movies. In this case, it's Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and Dracula. From 0 to 150, 69, 59. 59 and below being rotten, 16 and above being fresh. Just now, your guys' turns to guess.
Nice.
Ladies first, it's Valentine's Day. Alva, what is your rating of Dracula?
I give that an 80. I think critics give it maybe a 70 and audience maybe an 85.
Nice.
Carlos?
I'm actually also giving it 80 myself. Critics, I'll give it 83. Audiences, 75.
So the critics fall near where I give it, which is a 53%.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the audience falls up where you guys were with 80%.
Okay.
So there's
we're more with the audience.
a giant gap. Again, fun movie. I actually gave it a 65%.
Okay.
And GLHFDD, Carlos?
Personal RT, 85%. Critics, I feel like 89. Audiences, 82.
Alva?
I give it an 87. Critics might have given it 80. And audience maybe an 80. Let's go with 90.
And you guys are way more closer with that one because, that makes more sense. Critics give it an 85% and audience an 88%. I personally give it an 85%. And there you go. That's the ratings. Before we move on to trivia. Seriously, guys, Dracula?
You know what?
Uncultured bitch.
What are you talking
You don't believe
about?
in love, man.
Okay, all right, call to action. I want you guys to go see Dracula, and I want you to fucking tell me what you thought about this, especially after listening to what I had to say about it, and just tell me if I'm right or wrong, or 53%, for fuck's sake. Come on. Do better, guys.
No, you do better, man.
All right, YHST Trivia. If you're not familiar with the segment, it's a little trivia thing. We go 3 rounds. We rotate. Carlos will start it off first because he's been winning, asshole. We have to guess a movie title, a movie based upon 5 clues, and those 5 clues are strictly actors. If you guess it at the first guess, that's 5 points, 4, 3, 2, 1, or no points, which it's rare now with Carlos, but it happens every now and again. So it's going to be me and Carlos starting it off. Elva's going to be giving us our first clue.
4 or 5 points. Holland Taylor.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End?
No.
That's so specific.
I
I
know.
love it. It scares me every single time. I'm going to say Superman.
No.
I mean, my
4 points. Ed Harris.
Oh. Apollo 13?
No.
Man on the... No, wait, so, Truman Show.
Yes.
Damn. Way to go, man.
Do. Beep, 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 beep.
There you go.
Love it.
You pulled the first
Woo!
W.
You did.
Keep track. 4 points.
I know.
All right.
Cha, 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 cha.
Carlos, get the fuck out of here. It's me and Alva. But also, Carlos, give us our clues. We need you back.
Okay. So I'll start off with Isaac gets first guess here.
Yes.
All right. For 5 points, David Harris.
Batman.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I figured I was.
Do you want to?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. For 4 points, Marcelino Sanchez.
Marcelino Sanchez. The Mexican?
That is incorrect.
Was it that one movie, One Day Without Mexican or whatever?
Negative.
No.
Oh, that's a solid guess.
I know this one's a little tough, guys. All right. Next one. For 3 points, Deborah Van Valkenburg.
It Follows?
No.
I'll walk and burger my ass away.
That is also incorrect. Okay. All right. For 2 points, James Remar.
I know James Remar. Mortal Kombat?
Incorrect.
I don't know him, so I don't have a movie.
Okay. Oh, this is a tough one. All right. For 1 point, Michael Beck.
Michael Beck is the... Who the fuck is Michael Beck? Mortal Kombat 2.
Also incorrect.
Michael Beck? Oh my God. Bend It Like Beckham. I don't know.
Okay. So
right.
this was a tough one. So
Word association now.
the movie was The Warriors.
No, I don't know it.
I know.
The Warriors or Warriors?
No, The Warriors. Like 70s, like
gangs?
yeah, with all the gangs.
Never seen that movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
My dad showed it to me years ago. He used to quote it.
James Remar as in like Dexter's dad, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't wrong about that.
He was probably the most recognizable name on here.
Okay,
But he
yeah.
was not top billing, though.
All right. Well, since I still have the most points, then it goes back to me and Carlos.
4 or 5 points. Mm-hmm. Harriet Dyer.
Apollo 13?
No.
Fucking button!
No guess for me either.
For 4 points, Michael Dorman?
Michael Dorn?
Doorman.
Right.
Dorman.
Dorman.
I said it right.
I don't have a movie guess. I got nothing. Oh, yeah, let me get that. Hold on.
Oh, man, I got nothing either.
This is tough.
This is tough.
For 3 points, Storm Reed.
I'm so X-Men. Storm. I got nothing. This is
A
hard.
Wrinkle in Time?
No. A Wrinkle in Time?
I'm so bad right now. I can't even think of a movie title, even for funsies.
All right. For 2 points, Aldous Hodge.
Fucking
Aldous Hodge? Yeah.
Train Spotting.
No.
The panic.
Breathe.
You're panicking right now. Don't panic, Carlos.
Shit. No, I got nothing.
For 1 point and 1 point only, Elizabeth Moss.
My name sounds familiar, but
I know who it is, but I'm not. Yeah, no, your guess.
I don't know. I'm just making up movies now of the Flintstones.
Okay, I'll take a crack. The Invisible Man.
Yep.
Yes.
What Invisible Man?
The last one, the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth Moss.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I remember Aldous Hodge. I remember.
He's the
him.
yeah,
He's the
he
cop.
oh,
He's not the Invisible Man. Michael Dorman, right? He was the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
was he the guy who also played Victor Von Doom in the shitty
No.
Fantastic Four? Nah, I'm wrong all around.
Oh, this is a tough.
My God. Well, you guessed it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm out.
On the final.
On the final round.
Dun, 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 dun.
I actually have 2 movie titles to guess from, and they're both superhero stuff.
Okay. I know I'm out.
Okay. For 5 points, Diane Lane. I know me hinting at like it's a superhero movie. Just totally.
I'll take a guess.
Go ahead.
Man of Steel.
Fucking button!
Superman?
We both said Superman movie.
Yeah.
You just want more specific. I just went generic.
I realized like I totally led you down the road of like superheroes. So for 4 points, Jesse Eisenberg.
Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition.
You know, I finally got around to seeing that, and my
Blu-ray
God,
cover.
that like explains so much
Way
to
better.
the movie. Holy shit!
Yeah.
And there you have it. There it is. Where's my button?
Do, do.
You know, we try our best on this show, and sometimes
we have been trying our best in this episode so far. It's all falling apart.
It started off.
I don't know what
would we do without segments. You know, like without the
Nothing.
segments, we just would be entirely in shambles.
I'm just here to have a good time with you guys, you know. And so far,
I'm not. I'm trying to do a show. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about any of these movies? You know how I feel about Dracula.
I
want
say
people
just
to-
check them out.
Yeah.
Just check them out in general.
Give them a good casual. You
Yeah.
don't have to rush out to see them, but give them a watch.
Give them a chance.
As they always say, do go out there and form your own opinions. We're just here to have a conversation, you know. So join us in said conversations by going to our social medias at
Watch SD Pod.
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And yeah, tell us what you thought about these movies. If you have any future movie suggestions, that'd be awesome. Because not that we don't have any ideas, but sometimes we need to be pointed the right direction. And if you want to support us, you can go to Venmo at
Watch SD Pod.
and buy us a bucket of popcorn. I was gonna say buy us dibs, but apparently AMC don't sell dibs no more.
Yeah. Fun fact, they don't do them.
Kinda
Bastards.
sucks. Anything else, guys?
Nah.
In the meantime, let us know what movies are on your growing list of films that has people asking you the question.
You haven't seen that? Okay, bye.
Laters.
I am Dracula, and I love my Elizabeta.
Drink wine.
I'm also a very nice guy. I'm very cool if you get to know me.
But better, much better.
I do a cool little dance scene. I know the dance, guys. I learned over the 100 years.